I'm a personal trainer. I've been qualified since 2016. So what that means is I know how to get lean, right? Getting lean is not a problem. However, staying lean was the issue. So even with all of the knowledge and the qualification, I still struggled with yo-yo dieting. I struggled for years and years and years, up and down the roller coaster, right? I could not achieve stability. However, I'm gonna share with you the 3 actions that I took to finally defeat yo-yo dieting. So before I give you these solutions, let me explain the context so you understand just how big of an issue this was for me. So when it came to my journey of fitness, right, I would go from 90 kilos, then I would cut down, right, calorie deficit. I would go back down to like 80 kilos and then up again to 92 kilos. And this was the course, this was the pattern, right? And where did this pattern come from? This came from my early years watching YouTubers, right? My favorite YouTubers, they would go on these bulks and then they would go on these cuts. And it looked like it was giving them results. So I said, okay, in order to build muscle, this is what I have to do. So I followed their example. And before I knew it, I spent the last 10, 12 years, right, wrapped in this vicious cycle of yo-yo dieting, no stability, okay? And this had such a grip on me, right? I struggled with this. Despite everything I tried intermittent fasting, maybe keto will get me to that stability. Everything I tried, no, it was the same outcome. And let me explain, right, one of the issues that I struggled with. Because if you know, when you go on a cut, your body is starving. The body is starving, right? And there's this hormone called ghrelin. And ghrelin is all about it's the hunger hormone, right? So it stimulates your appetite. So what I would find is, particularly when I'm lean, right? We're talking 79 kgs. Bearing in mind, I'm 5'9". So for me, that's quite lean. So when I'm in those lean periods, one of the reasons why it was difficult for me to achieve stability is because I would go on these binging frenzies. So let me explain what would happen. So it's almost as if I left the driver's seat of the vehicle and something else stepped into the driver's seat and it compelled me to eat. So I would go to my nearest shop and we're talking biscuits, cakes, anything sugary, anything with lots of fat and sugar, salt, right? And I would eat and I would eat and I would eat until it hurts. So that was my pattern. Emotional eating, right? I would eat and eat until it hurts. I'm hungry, I'm starving, and next thing you know, I'm caught up in guilt, right? And I'm thinking, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? And there's a few reasons. One of the reasons is because I'm starving myself, man. My body is literally starving. It's in survival mode, right? And so this had such a huge grip on me. This coupled with the emotional eating. So when my emotion gets low, my coping mechanism is to eat, right? Because I want to feel something, man. And at least I know that the food could provide that outlet. Okay, and I even went as far as calling these kind of days McDonald's days, man. Because I'm feeling low, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna order me some fast food, right? And so that's when the cycle up and down, right? So it really had the grip on me. Now let me tell you the 3 actions that I took, right? The 3 actions that I took. Now I told you that I was caught up in this cycle of cutting and bulking. Now the first step, it seems so sensible, right? The first action that I took in this quest for stability is to stop cutting, right? I had the brainwave. What happens if I stop cutting and bulking, right? What would happen? Right? And I tested it out. I'm like, I'm gonna stop the bulking, right? I'm relatively lean. Let me just stay here. Let me just train. Let me eat normally. Let me stop counting the calories. Let me stop fixating myself with the scale. And let me see what would happen, right? And the reason why this was difficult for me to do is because I've been indoctrinated to believe that I must cut and bulk. I must cut and bulk in order to maximize success. But now I'm at a point in my life whereby I'm good, right? If I lose a bit of muscle because of this, so be it, right? I've finally broken that attachment, that desire to be building muscle, to constantly be bigger and bigger. That's one of the things that got me in this cycle. So the first action that I took is I decided I'm done with the bulking. No more bulking, right? No more cutting. I'm just gonna kind of eat to stay and maintain this healthy body weight, right? So that's the first action. Stop the bulking, stop the cutting, right? And just eat normally. I'm not counting calories now, right? I'm not stepping on the scale, right? I'm just eating normally. And lo and behold, right, it's reaping dividends. Now, the second action that I took, right, now this is about the food, man, the food situation. So I eliminated ultra processed foods. I've eliminated processed foods. They don't come into my house. They don't come into my house. So those same biscuits and snacks and crisps, I don't purchase them anymore, right? So this is like a hard and fast rule, and I don't violate this rule. So that makes it very easy for me because I know this is my rule, right? I'm not rocking with the ultra processed foods. I'm not rocking with the processed foods, period, right? And I know this is going to be hard for some people to do, but for me, listen, I have that kind of mentality whereby when I'm serious about this, I'm going to go all in. So I've went all in, right, to remove the ultra processed foods from my diet. So that's step 2 in the quest for stability. And then step 3, very important step, right? Very important step, because if you remember, I said one of the things I struggled with was emotional eating. So when my mood gets low, I eat. But what has happened now is I found fulfillment, right? I found fulfillment finally, right? And if we actually break down that word, fulfillment, because I lacked fulfillment, then I would look to fill myself with food, man, right? But now that I feel fulfilled, right, there's less of a need to actually fill myself with food, man. So it's important to actually take care of that emotional, that spiritual void. Right? I found my life purpose and I feel fulfilled on a daily basis. So what that means is I'm no longer looking for food, right? To fill that void, to fill that black hole that was in my heart, right? So those are the 3 components, man. And this is what worked for me. So just to kind of summarize. So number 1, right, I stopped the cycle of cutting and bulking. I said, I'm done with the bulking. I'm done with the cutting. I'm eating for stability. I'm maintaining myself, man. The second piece was eliminating ultra processed foods. I don't buy them no more. And the third one was filling that emotional, that spiritual void in my heart. Now having fulfillment, I'm no longer seeking food to fill that hole. So those are the 3 steps that work for me in terms of staying lean, man. And ironically, I'm not even trying. I'm not trying, but weight is actually falling off, man. I'm not trying, right? And ironically, when I was trying this super hard, man, I was failing, man. But now that I'm not even trying, it's easier than ever. So these are the 3 tools. These are the 3 actions that help me achieve stability and defeat yo-yo dieting. Let me know if you've overcome yo-yo dieting, right? How was your journey? And let me know any comments, thoughts. And if you would like me to make a video on how to get lean, then let me know in the comments too. I'll catch you on the next one.